Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Time for some recent finds. Just a few things, about 5 or 6 things that have come into the collection, including 2 things that are absolute grails to me for my collection. I'm so happy to finally get, and I'm actually going to start with those instead of trying to hold them to the end like we do sometimes. But first, before I show the first one, I want to give a big thanks to the one and only JC over at the flip side. You guys know him here in the VC. And as I say every time I mention his name, if you don't happen to know him, that's why I left that link down below so you can go check out his channel. Great, fantastic guy, awesome guy to be subscribed to, and just one of those fun guys to watch, plain and simple. It's like I said, I kind of say that every time I mention his name in any of these videos. But I want to give a big thanks to him because he sent a text to a number of us a couple weeks ago or whatever, and he was just like, "Hey, Purchase Street Records that he has a very good relationship with back in Boston, and he spends a lot of time there. He was like, they got some very cool stuff in, and he named some of the stuff that they got. And one of the things I was like, oh my gosh, I've wanted one of those since forever. So he hooked me up with Roger, and gave me his number, and I was able to call him. I was able to ask JC, like, what would you grade it? And he gave me all the lowdown. Said, it's kind of nice having somebody like that has the ears and eyes out there to actually give you what will be extremely accurate information. And long story short, I was able to grab this piece from Purchase Street Records, which was just totally awesome. And that piece is this right here, which is Mötley Crüe's Too Fast for Love. And this is one of the original leather pressings, which is, as you can see just by the cover there on the front, no creases. I mean, just a fantastic, beautiful copy of that. And usually I don't keep most of my records in the back, but I did on this one here. And so I believe with this original pressing, and these are the ones, I guess, more or less that Mötley Crüe was putting out on the leather records before they got signed by, was it Atlantic? Was that what Crüe was on? Um, and I believe there's 3 different pressings of it. I think the first 2 were white labels, and the third one, like this, was a black label. I believe that's how it went. And somehow in the first 2, the very first one or the second one, I can't remember which one was which, but one has like white writing and then one has red writing on those first 2. But like I said, I believe this is the third first pressing. But this is just one of those records that you can be into collecting forever, and it just does not come across your doorstep very often. And so, like I said, JC connected us, and I mean, Roger was absolutely fantastic with getting it over to me and all that great stuff, and just an absolute gem. Let me get the label set up right here. Just an absolute gem in the collection. And as you can see there, beautiful, beautiful copy of that. And so, like I said, this is one that just does not pop up very often at all. And so when JC was telling me about it, and I was able to work out a deal, and even though I did not have the money to buy it, and this may be maybe something that I should say, maybe I've actually done this a lot, especially when it comes to records like that. I'll just go ahead and get the record, and then I have to sell enough stuff to get all the money back immediately. So that way, in my mind, I did a trade for the record, and I didn't really buy the record. And that's kind of what I did with that. But so great to finally have this in the collection. I never really assumed I would have one, quite frankly. So beautiful, beautiful edition. Second one here, which I definitely kind of consider a bit of a grail just based on the condition. Kiss Love Gun, original Japanese pressing from 1977 with the guns. And like even the perforated edges on the guns have not even been broken yet. I mean, to find one that clean is just between record, cover, obi, and guns. I mean, that is just an awesome, awesome piece. So great addition to the Japanese collection right there. And then I got this one at the shop the other day. This is Bad Company. And of course, this is an Analog Productions pressing of just a classic legendary album. Actually, I think one of the best blues rock albums like ever with Rogers at the helm. But yeah, I've only listened to one disc so far, and it did sound fantastic. Nice 2 LP set. So that's the Analog Productions of Bad Company's 1977 release, or 74, I'm sorry. Cool pressings of the one and only Money Man, a nice Japanese pressing here of No Control. Um, just one of his many classic albums in my mind. Has one of my top two songs by him, which is Shaken. Love that freaking track, so I never get tired of this album. Have a really nice US pressing, but it's kind of cool to get a Japanese pressing in the collection as well. And the last two I'll show. This is actually a dollar bin find, which I don't get to stumble across that often anymore. So try to get the glare out of there. Grover Washington Jr. This is Then and Now. His 1988 release, so a little bit later in his career. I've always kind of had him in my smooth jazz section. He's kind of one of those kind of guys. And when I first put this on, I never heard this before, but it was a buck, and I knew him, and I was like, give it a try. And it was clean as can be. And the first side is pretty much your standard, if you know him, Grover type of stuff. Then I put on side two, and it was like probably some of the best skills I've seen him show in the records that I know by him. It was very kind of just old school, traditional, Coltrane type of feel, and really kind of for the most part with all of his stuff that I've heard. I'm sure there's tons of albums by him I haven't heard. That side two was the one that really kind of gave me some insight on this is how this dude can actually play. He even did a cover of In a Sentimental Mood, which of course Duke Ellington and John Coltrane, did a number of years ago, which is a fantastic track. But yeah, side two on this really kind of blew me away. I mean, a great dollar find for a cool jazz record right there, especially one that I never heard before. So that was a great new discovery. And last but not least, I'll show this one, which is, of course, Duke by Genesis. This is their 1979 release. On this one they had Misunderstanding, Turn It On Again, that type of thing. And yeah, just the fact that this was a gold stamp promo with the timing sticker and everything else. Not a white label, but a gold stamp promo. I was like, yeah, I like collecting the promos, and so I went ahead and grabbed it the other day. So really cool album. Definitely my favorite time period with Genesis. I mean, yes, I love the Gabriel stuff and all of that, but I'm sorry, when Phil took the helm, stepped out to do lead, and they start going into the 80s where they were mixing the pop and the progressive stuff together. That's just the Genesis that I love. Absolutely love that to death. So anyway, there you go, VC. Again, JC, thanks so much. Purchase Street Records, thank you so much for helping me out and grabbing that. And as always, you guys let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.